Hello, good people. This is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker, coming back at you live once again from the Lone Star State with another edition of the Media Mike Speaks. All right, good people, I want to talk to you about the JFK assassination and what Sleepy Joe has decided to do. As you saw in the title, he has decided to delay the release of the secret JFK assassination files. So as you see, they keep moving the goalposts. Interesting. You know what I think they don't want us to know? But what is there to know? Other than what they've said they've already discovered. So we're going to talk about this. Let's get to it. A White House memo signed by Biden said temporary continued postponement is necessary to protect against identifiable harm to the military defense, intelligence operations, law enforcement, or the conduct of foreign relations that is of such gravity that it outweighs the public interest in immediate disclosure, unquote. Now, I don't know about you good people, whatever the hell that means. All the people that are still in tune to this want to know is, was it an actual conspiracy? Or who were the assassins and who was behind it? That's it. All of this stuff talking about military defense, intelligence operations, conduct of foreign relations, what are you talking about? Most American people, that's above their head anyway. So it's over their head and above their pay grade. They can care less. They want to know who did it, who actually did it, and who was behind it. But anyway, let's continue. The order comes in response to the archivist of the United States recommending the president temporarily certify the continued withholding of all of the information certified in 2018 and direct two public releases of the information that is ultimately been determined to be appropriate for release to the public, with one interim release on December 15th and one more comprehensive release in late 2022, according to the memo. Whatever the hell that even means, I don't know. Not only are they continuing to move the goalposts, they just continue with all of this wording here that makes absolutely no sense. Now, as you all may or may not know, former President Donald Trump ordered in 2018 that documentation still under wraps stay redacted for national security reasons, with a deadline of October 26, 2021, which we are here and know. So his administration said the decision was made at the behest of the intelligence community, whoever the hell that is. Must be a young intelligence community, because I'm pretty sure the ones who were alive back then are probably not alive anymore, or too old to do anything or to remember anything, as a matter of fact. So this time around, delays associated with the coronavirus pandemic were to blame for the recommendation to put off the release. Excuses. They keep on with it. Now, according to the archivist of the United States, he reported, unfortunately, the pandemic has had a significant impact on the agencies and National Archives and Records Administration. The White House memo said, I want to know, how old is this archivist? I just would like to know that. So, as you all may or may not know, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald, allegedly, on November 22, 1963, in Dallas. Oswald was arrested and charged with the killings of Kennedy and Dallas police officer J.D. Tippit. The 24-year-old denied shooting Kennedy, claiming he was a patsy, before he was shot dead soon after on national television by nightclub owner Jack Ruby, who died mysteriously in a jail cell, and no autopsy was performed. So, just saying. According to the President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992, which was signed into law by former President George H.W. Bush in an attempt to minimize conspiracy theories about Kennedy's death, the Congress declared all government records concerning the assassination of President John F. Kennedy should be eventually disclosed to enable the public to become fully informed about the history surrounding the assassination, unquote. Now, that makes sense. But that did not happen, and to this day it has not happened. Congress also found at the time that most of the records related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy are almost 30 years old, and only in the rarest cases is there any legitimate need for continued protection of such records, unquote. Unless, good people, those who were involved are somehow still alive. Just saying. No loose ends. Now, tens of thousands of the JFK assassination documents with varying levels of redactions have already been released. And saying what, I wonder? What are they saying? Oh, goes on to read right here, good people. Among the information that has not been made public are highly sensitive details about U.S. operations against Cuba in 1963, according to The Intercept. There are also unseen passages about surveillance techniques that detected Oswald's visits to the Soviet and Cuban embassies in Mexico City weeks before Kennedy's assassination. But I believe that people who are still curious about this would like to know who, once again, were the real assassins behind the assassination. I don't think this new generation, or even parts of the old generation, are concerned about national security in Cuba. The year is 2021, not 1961. It is a new century. Just saying. Now, according to the report, the first release will occur after this year, and one more comprehensive release will come in late 2022, according to the memo. Well, we will just have to wait and see. Now, to continue with a bit of a backstory, a 10-month investigation led by then Supreme Court Justice Earl Warren concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine who had lived in the Soviet Union, acted alone when he fired on Kennedy's motorcade. But the commission's investigation was criticized for being incomplete, with the congressional committee later concluding that Kennedy was probably assassinated as a result of a conspiracy, unquote, because the congressional committee later discovered in or around 1976 that there were 4 shots instead of 3, which led to the conclusion that there was most likely a second gunman. And if you have a second gunman, you have a conspiracy. Now, U.S. law requires that all government records on the assassination be disclosed to enable the public to become fully informed, as I stated earlier, but we will wait on that. So let me know what you think, good people. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section, because November is fast approaching, and we're coming up on that anniversary of that deadly day in 1963. So, until next time, this is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker. Subscribe, share, and like to keep me rocking on the mic. Have a good night.